Welcome to Colombo, Sri Lanka's bustling, buzzing capital, a veritable city of dreams. This is the starting point for an astonishing journey through Sri Lanka by train, considered by many to be the best way to see this treasured island. Over a period of almost 3 weeks, we're going to be travelling slowly through the legendary hill country of Sri Lanka, soaking up its heady mix of culture, cuisine and stunning landscapes, while at the same time exploring some of the other highlights to be found along the way. Sri Lanka's hill country offers a wonderful contrast to the island's fabulous golden sand beaches. Perhaps even more importantly, it offers some of the best tea on the planet too. But back to Colombo, where, if you scratch the surface, you will find an immensely rich, multi-dimensional history and activities to suit all types of traveller. From relaxed waterfront promenades and colonial-era hotel cocktail bars to tuk-tuk rides through colourful markets and a host of glittering temples. Sri Lanka's largest city is a feast for the senses, with a host of discoveries guaranteed to delight. One such delight is the Bodhi courtyard, found bang in the middle of the famous Ganga Ramaya temple. This special place is a vibrant Buddhist complex, known for its sacred Bodhi tree, multiple rows of Buddha statues, and mix of architectural styles, which combine to deliver a rich cultural and spiritual experience. According to Buddhist tradition, the Bodhi tree is the sacred fig-bearing tree under which the Buddha sat when he attained enlightenment. It is very fitting that this is located in the Ganga Ramaya temple, which was built in the late 19th century and features a captivating mix of modern and traditional styles. This is a serene escape from the hustle and bustle of the city, and a great place to reflect on the adventures ahead. For peak hustle and bustle, look no further than Colombo Fort Railway Station, a major hub for the state-run Sri Lanka Railways, which operates a series of intercity and commuter lines from here. This venerable station serves as a gateway to the hill country. We are going to be travelling on the famously scenic main line, which connects Colombo and Ella and links to a number of routes going even further east to the seaside towns of Batticaloa and Trincomalee. Colombo Fort is also a key terminus for trains heading southwest to Galle and Matara on the coastal line, and, since the end of the Civil War, to Jaffna on the northern line. The station is based in the commercial hub of the city, Colombo's busiest district. Be prepared for a frenetic atmosphere, and best keep your eyes on your bags. Train journeys vary massively, ranging from the insufferable to the sublime. We prefer the latter kind, and there are lots of them in Sri Lanka, including one considered to be one of the most beautiful in the world, the Kandy to Ella ride, which involves crossing the 9-arch bridge. We will come on to that, but we wanted to explore all parts of the journey, hence the start from Colombo, where before boarding the train, we're able to stock up on water and snacks from the numerous vendors peddling their wares alongside platform 2. It's not a bad idea for a journey that lasts almost 3 hours. Admiring all that stunning scenery is thirsty work. After soaking up this huge slice of station life, finally it was time to bid farewell to Colombo and begin our adventure with the journey to our first destination, the ancient capital of Kandy. So what to expect? The journey from Colombo to Kandy has not got the kudos of its glamorous sister, Kandy to Ella. But it is an iconic way to travel from Sri Lanka's largest city to its cultural capital. And it's safe to say, we're going to be pleasantly surprised by what awaits us. The first few minutes of the journey offer great reminders of what we are leaving behind. Colombo and an impressive city skyline, which includes the new landmark Lotus Tower. Our progress, behind a Chinese-built diesel-electric S12, is steady, if not spectacularly fast. The distance between Colombo and Kandy is 120 kilometres. This is covered by express and intercity trains in just over 2.5 hours. At least, this is according to the Sri Lanka Railways official timetable. In reality, trains are very often delayed and take longer than scheduled. Try not to plan tours or activities or onward journeys that depend on your train being on time. It may not be. But this is all about slow travel, taking in and enjoying every moment along the way as you journey from Sri Lanka's breathtaking Indian Ocean coastline to the drama of its hills and highlands, so rich in cultural heritage. The landscapes on this initial part of the trip may not be as striking as those to come, but they do range from classical palm tree loveliness to dense jungle and picturesque villages. Gorgeous glimpses into the diversity of Sri Lanka and its stunning tropical geographies. The journey also offers multiple opportunities to connect with fellow passengers, most of whom are Sri Lankan. There's a very social, friendly atmosphere on board. All round, it's a wonderful experience. Kandy railway station offers a unique journey through time and beauty. Time, because like much of Sri Lanka's railway infrastructure, it dates back to the period of British colonial rule. And beauty, because with its curving forms and long horizontal lines, this elegant structure conjures up what is termed the art moderne style. Kandy railway station is not just a place to catch a train. It's a living testament to Sri Lanka's colonial past. Kandy is the place where most people begin their mainline rail adventure, with the journey to Ella. But for us, it is somewhere to stop and take stock, to break the journey with an exploration of a city of immense cultural and religious significance. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, no less. It is also a place of dance, vibrant sequences of meaningful movement that involve colourful traditional costumes, spellbinding rhythms, and elaborate drumming. There are three main types of classical Sri Lankan dance. The most famous is Kandyan dance, characterised by energetic leaps, intricate footwork, and symbolic movements to represent animals. Kandy is the second biggest city in Sri Lanka, but at times it feels more like a small colonial town. The Queen's Hotel showcases Kandyan architecture, serving as a focal point for the city, reflecting its history as Sri Lanka's final independent royal capital. There are many reminders of this rich royal past in the older part of town. Not for no reason is Kandy known as the City of Kings, the last stronghold of the ancient Sinhalese monarchy. Echoes of this regal splendour can be seen in the buildings lining the splendid Kandy Lake, constructed at enormous expense during the reign of the last monarch of the Kingdom of Kandy, Savikrama Rajasingha. But the most important site by far is the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, Sri Dalada Malegawa. For Sri Lankans and foreign visitors alike, Kandy's status as cultural and historical capital is deeply rooted in this very special relic, the sacred tooth of Lord Buddha. According to legend, the tooth relic found in Kandy, a left canine, was retrieved from Buddha's cremated body in India by his disciple Khema. For 800 years, it was kept by the monarchs of Kalinga, modern-day Puri, who, fearing attack, had it secretly transported to Sri Lanka. It is widely believed that of the 4 separate tooth relics the Buddha instructed to be taken for veneration, the one possessed by the monarch of Kalinga was by far the most venerable. Roughly 2 kilometres from Kandy city centre, there is another majestic Buddhist site, the Sri Mahabodhi Viharaya, a Theravada Buddhist temple. This one is famed for its giant white statue of the Buddha, which at 88 feet is one of the tallest on the island. After all those temples, we decide to take a stroll through a local food market. An exotic experience which certainly builds up an appetite. Following this, we sign up for a Sri Lankan cooking class, typically offered by local families or small schools. Ayubowan, welcome in Sinhalese, is the typical greeting as you settle down to watch how to prepare traditional dishes such as rice and curry, hoppers and pitu, lending a hand with the preparation of the ingredients and especially the tasting. Delicious. The Kandy to Ella train is often featured on lists of the most beautiful train journeys in the world, and it's easy to understand why. The phrase, "it's about the journey, not the destination," could have been written for this incredibly scenic experience. So, are we ready to board the Kandy to Ella train? We are indeed. The journey is not a short one. It takes at least 7 hours and can be as much as 10. Trains are slow in Sri Lanka, and they make plenty of stops along the way. So leave behind your now mindset. Sit down, relax, enjoy the ride. Today, this spectacular railway adventure will bring us to Nanu Oya, the gateway to Nura Elia, the popular tea plantation hillside retreat, otherwise known as Little England. One of the many things that makes this train journey so nice is that you can enjoy the beautiful landscapes from the train's open windows. It is also possible to open the doors on the train, even while moving. And many do, to get dramatic photos of themselves hanging out of the doors and clinging on to the side of the train. This is all very spectacular, but for obvious safety reasons, this practice is not encouraged by the Sri Lankan authorities. The train from Kandy to Ella is an incredibly popular journey, both among locals and tourists. And as train travel is the cheapest way to get around Sri Lanka, it tends to be pretty packed. When it comes to where to sit, while second class is more comfortable, third allows you to travel with the locals. For that reason, we love travelling in third class. It's best to take the morning train. This way, you will have daylight during the entire trip. The landscapes are what make this train ride so spectacular. You want to see as many of them as possible. It does not take us long to see why the Kandy to Ella train ride is so popular. It is a journey of incredible beauty, with green rolling hills, lush jungles, palm trees, and endless emerald green tea plantations. As on the earlier journey from Colombo, people on this stretch are very friendly. It's a magical experience. Rather than riding all the way to Ella in one go, we stop at Nanu Oya to make the short journey to Nura Elia, a picturesque colonial-era hill station in Sri Lanka's central highlands, and a thriving tourist hub today. With its cool temperatures, stunning scenery, and of course, great cups of tea, it's easy to see why this was such a popular spot for the highest echelons of society during colonial times. Nura Elia's nickname, Little England, reflects the town's past and English village feel, seen very clearly in the Nura Elia postal holiday home, a charming relic of colonial architecture. But here in the hills of Nura Elia, it's all about the tea. Sri Lanka exports almost 300,000 tons of tea a year and is the fourth largest producer of tea in the world, behind China, India and Kenya. While the first tea plantation was close to Kandy, Nura Elia became the hub for the industry. The tea leaves are picked every 6 days. The tea pickers only pick the young green leaves, so you can identify which fields need picking because the tips of the bushes are lighter in colour. Credited with being Sri Lanka's second oldest tea plantation, the Grand Damro Labukeli Tea Estate is nestled among 5,000 acres of lush greenery and rolling hills, giving it a very special feel. Located 20 kilometres north of Nura Elia, visitors here are offered free guided tours. On one of these, you can learn all about tea leaf plucking, rolling, fermenting and grading. All essential parts of the process of producing the perfect blend. Here too, you can enjoy a freshly brewed cuppa paired with a selection of melt-in-your-mouth cakes sold at the nearby Damro Tea Lounge. High tea in the hilly mountains. It could be a memory of a lifetime. Refreshed and refueled in New Aurelia, it's time to move on again, this time to Ella itself. And it's easy to spot our iconic blue train as it pulls into the station at Nanuoya. As we set off, the train slowly winds through rolling green hills and those endless tea plantations. Once again, the views are stunning. Misty mountains, small pretty villages, cascading waterfalls. The train makes plenty of stops along the way. And if you're wondering why it takes so long, it's because in such hilly terrain, the track is far from straight. There are so many highlights, such as the stunning St. Clair's waterfall, described as the little Niagara of Sri Lanka. This waterfall actually contains two falls. The larger one is 80 meters high and the smaller 50 meters. Watch as they cascade over rocky outcrops and then race through the tea estates. Another evocative stop is the Great Western Railway Station, one of many built to service the tea estates, with the added benefit of offering sensational views. A mere 7 kilometers out of Ella, we come to the iconic Black Bridge, a famous colonial-era railway viaduct with a very high elevation, which was built entirely of stone, brick and cement. The train will stop at these locations for between 2 and 10 minutes, long enough for you to enjoy the scenery and capture it all on film. Ella is a wonderful destination, but in the case of the Kandy Ella train ride, you could say the journey by train to get there is an even greater attraction. Of course, there is plenty to see and do in Ella once you do get there. So where to start? We head to the Kuda Ravana Ella waterfall, also known as the Ravana Falls, one of the widest waterfalls in the country. It is a stunning natural spectacle that draws both adventure enthusiasts and nature lovers. The water cascades down from an oval-shaped rocky outcrop, creating a picturesque 25-meter drop with a pool at the bottom in which the intrepid can swim. Street vendors here have a rather nice speciality, barbecued corn done in a very traditional way. There's a takeaway for each and every rail journey. Another place well worth a visit is the Dawa Rock Temple. This ancient site, a cave temple decorated with frescoes telling the tales of the Buddha's various incarnations, has a mysterious history dating back over 2,000 years. This includes the period when it served as a refuge for the beleaguered King Valagamba. Today it is a sacred place of worship for Buddhists from all over Sri Lanka. With its mountain forests, tea plantations, cool climate and varied wildlife, laid-back Ella draws scores of visitors to Sri Lanka's highlands. It's a breath of fresh air in all senses of the word, and we sincerely hope it stays this way. But for most visitors, and especially train lovers, the most compelling reason to come to Ella is to see the structural wonder that is the Nine-Arch Bridge. One of the most photographed attractions in the whole of Sri Lanka. This incredible construction was built by the British in the colonial era and is made of stone bricks and cement with no steel reinforcement. The bridge was designed to accommodate a challenging 9-degree curve and steep gradient, and utilised concrete cornice blocks for arch support. It was built entirely by local labour under British supervision and faced significant logistical challenges. Just imagine transporting the construction materials through such a difficult terrain. But there it stands, a thing of astonishing beauty, completed in 1919, and now, more than 100 years later, still thrilling train passengers and touring visitors alike. From Ella, a short tuk-tuk ride will bring you to a place offering good views of Nine Arch Bridge, which is also known as the Bridge in the Sky. If travelling on the Ella Odyssey train, which crosses the bridge and carries on to Badula, a good 10-minute stop will give you time to soak up the magic of this very special place. Another great highlight in this part of the world, easily reachable from Ella, is the Maha Mevnua Monastery, also known as the Monastery in the Clouds, for its stunning hilltop location, 33-metre-tall pagoda, hand-painted murals, bracing mountain air, and serene atmosphere. We loved all these temples, but while we were in this part of the world, wanted to see some of the wildlife for which Sri Lanka is famous. So we took a car journey 100 kilometres south to the Udar Wallaway National Park. This is a magical experience, especially if you want to see elephants in the wild, where they truly belong. Visitors are transported by private jeep right into the heart of the national park, where you will see countless elephants grazing and chewing on tasty branches. There's a good chance you'll see baby elephants too. Seeing wild elephants at Udar Wallaway gives you the chance to witness their natural behaviour and interactions with each other. So much better than some of the unnatural behaviours common in sham sanctuaries. With the number of elephants in the park estimated between 250 and 600, sightings are almost guaranteed. Watch as these majestic creatures roam freely through the park, using their trunks to find food or throw mud over themselves to protect their skin from the scorching heat. There are other animals here too. You may encounter water buffalo, deer, and numerous birds, including the Asian green bee-eater. There are peacocks too, creatures of great beauty, majesty, power and divinity. So proud, but also just a little bit vain. Udawalawe National Park is located in the southeast of Sri Lanka. It's between the south coast beaches and the hill country. This makes it very reachable from either of these locations. There is one final, unexpected treat in the mountains near Ella, the Demodara Loop, a famous spiral railway that is an extraordinary testament to the ingenuity and determination of the colonial-era builders of this railway. This stretch of track, a marvel of railway engineering, circles back on itself to pass through a tunnel located directly beneath the station at Demodara, and shows just what can be done when you have a mountain to climb. The loop is in a very special location, with a tea plantation rising above it, and yet more achingly beautiful views. Stop at Demodara for further photos and unique perspectives on yet another engineering wonder. You could say that at Demodara, what goes around comes around. And with that, our journey is done. Sri Lanka offers a host of magical memories through its iconic hill country train journeys, especially the Kandy to Ella route, famous for tea plantations, misty mountains, waterfalls, colonial-era blue trains, and the spectacular Nine Arch Bridge. Ride this line for a wonderful, slow-paced adventure filled with stunning views and cultural immersion. It is justifiably considered to be one of the world's most spectacular train rides, blending natural beauty with Sri Lanka's rich history. In our view, it's a very worthy bucket list experience for rail enthusiasts and lovers of scenic journeys alike. Are you bored?